Matt Dierkel and Ryan Mosley texted me, and they were talking about the race, and they were like wondering why I was upset Reddick won. They're like, "You really wanted Denny to win over Tyler Reddick?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, Reddick can still eat a dick for last week."
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Roll the intro. What's up? Welcome to the Big Motor Small Blade Podcast. I'm Buddy Pulley.
I'm Seth Dolby.
I'm Chase Folsom. I'll introduce myself now.
Okay. There you go. Yeah, you second time around.
I'll introduce myself.
Yeah.
I'm the Chase Folsom.
Yeah, Chase Folsom, frontstretch.com, or as we know him as Chuck Forsum.
Only on Saturdays.
Yeah. Yeah.
Never mind. Yeah.
Then he works for backstretch.com. Go listen to the Daytona episode to figure out what backstretch.com is.
Backstretch.org.
Oh, yeah.
Last week it was .net. Now it's .org. We gotta
Doesn't matter. It ain't .com. That's all we know.
Very important. It's very important, Chuck.
I need to know so when I set up the domain.
Okay. We'll decide by the end of the episode.
All right, cool. Kansas. I said in a TikTok I posted this weekend, why the hell is it called not Kansas?
Do you want like the actual reasoning why, or do you want to just play along with it?
I'll take the actual reasoning why, but actually, hold on. Where's he at?
Why would it be Kansas, and why would Arkansas not just be Arkansas?
Huh?
I said, why would this be Kansas?
Arkansas sounds stupid.
Arkansas sounds stupid.
I mean,
I think Arkansas sounds cool, actually.
If it was spelled like Arkansas, maybe, but
yeah, if it was like if it was Arkansas, like SAW.
Arkansas sounds like a dinosaur.
Dude, it does. What the fuck? Peter Strada texted me earlier, and he said it goes back to the Civil War. That's your Kansas, and this is our Kansas.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
It has something to do with one of them is like of French origin, and the other one is from like Latin or Spanish origin, just like based on who founded the states or something. I don't know. Don't quote me on the language origin, but it's two different language origins that when the states were founded or the territories at the time or whatever. I was in school last year, so I still remember something. Yeah.
That's fair. Okay, that makes sense.
Oh God, it's been a long time since I've been in school.
I'm actually, technically still in school because I'm in college, but
it's been 84 years, buddy.
Wow. Yeah. This race seemed like it took forever. Am I the only one who feels
Oh my gosh, yes, it felt that way.
Okay, cool.
Dude, it was the second quarter of the Eagles game that started at 4:30, and I flipped the channel over, and it was still stage 2, and I was like, what is happening? Did time just stop?
Maybe I don't have this problem because I have two things up at all times during football season and racing season. So I don't know. There's just always something going on.
It felt like this race took forever.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like to me, like it seemed like the last couple years we'd had more like cautions at Kansas than I feel like we did today.
For sure.
Well, what was up with the tire thing today, though? Because we didn't have that in the fall last year.
Race was damn near 3.5 hours long.
We didn't have it in the spring this year, and all of a sudden the tire thing's back. Like, what was that about?
That had to have been a setup thing,
didn't it?
I don't think we did have it in the spring.
Really?
Well, Byron blew a right rear, didn't he, in the spring?
Yeah.
Okay, we didn't. I don't know.
It wasn't. This year hasn't been. I mean, dude, it's all set up. Like, I think people are just getting. They're getting more aggressive. I think the spring maybe they were still a little bit timid from Texas, and then they got their balls back here, and
Well, I mean, a bunch of them. If it's set up, dude, how do you set up a car that blows a tire on lap 8?
I think he hit something because they said there was a puncture.
Yeah,
Truex. Yeah, there was a puncture.
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't watching then. Yeah. I was still watching.
Now, Kyle Busch, Ty Gibbs, Bubba, Chris Buescher, those were all just, I would imagine, set up. Yeah. And just how they, because they were talking to Reddick about saving his right rear. Yeah. And dude, also, Kyle Busch wrecks a lot.
Yeah.
Like, practice, qualifying, the race, like, Kyle Busch wrecks a lot.
Especially this year. I don't know if it's just him being in the RCR cars now, it's different or something. But
he wrecked a lot in Gibbs cars too.
Yeah, I mean,
I guess it didn't get talked about as much because he just won a lot in Gibbs cars.
It's true. I mean, the amount of times that they would wreck in practice and come back and win the race was a lot.
Yeah. Which, I mean, Jimmy Johnson spun out a lot too.
Jimmy spun out a lot, but I feel like Kyle's totaled more cars.
Yeah. Jimmy never actually wrecked race cars all the time. He spun them out all the time, but
yeah.
Oh well, they win a lot, so
I guess it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Obviously, Martin Truex blew a tire lap 5. He's -7 to the cut line.
Mm-hmm.
That's nobody had that on their bingo card.
I mean, dude, it's not out of the damn question. There's so many people sending him and Byron automatically to the round of 4. Especially
I had him
Truex.
as my champion. So,
I mean, that's reasonable, but there's some people that said, "Oh, he pencil him in." Even if he has shit happen to him, he's going. He's got such a big cushion. He had 29 points.
Yeah,
he had 29. Kevin Harvick had 4 million in 2020.
Yeah, if we're talking such a big cushion, I think Chase had a bigger cushion last year than Martin did this year.
Yeah, it's
and Kyle, good Lord, Kyle's cushion in 2021 was, and he still almost missed the round of 8 at the Roval. He was out for a lot of that race.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know. It's just people are so we've talked about this before. People are so short-sighted. It's dude, when the playoff guys run 15 out of the top 17 positions, if you fuck up, you're gonna lose a good chunk of points.
Well, and also we go to Darlington every year, and about half the playoff guys have an issue, and everyone always acts like that's shocking. It happens every year.
Yeah.
At this point, I make my picks based on which ones I think are gonna have an issue because half of them do.
Now, I mean, still ultimately, it's still shocking how bad they ran at Darlington, and then this just compounded the issue.
Yeah.
But
didn't they have a loose wheel at Darlington too, though?
They might have, but they were still awful.
Yeah,
they
were still bad though. They were nowhere.
I actually, fun fact, since I wasn't on the show last week, I didn't watch any of the Southern 500 at all. Actually, I take that back. I watched the last 2 laps of stage 1, and that is it. I did not know what was happening.
That's sacrilegious. Seth booed him off the call.
I got a text. So I was at the county fair with all my friends and my girlfriend and whatnot.
I got a text county fair.
I got a text from my grandmother. My grandparents are Larson fans. So I got a text that says, "Are you watching this race?" And I looked at my buddies and I was like, this means one of 2 things. Either Kyle won or somebody wrecked Kyle for the win. And I pulled it up and I was like, oh, Kyle won. Okay. So that was my Southern 500 experience.
I think I almost prefer that.
Yeah, I know you could prefer that for sure.
Yeah.
Mine was definitely better than both of y'all's, and that's not a hot take. That's just reality.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bubba Wallace also cut a tire. That sucked. He said it best. He was like, "This shit don't ever happen when you're running 20th. It's only because
you're not fast enough."
Yeah, exactly. There's a reason for that, but
yeah. But it looked like he had a shot at it there, especially when the 5 kind of took himself out of it.
Yeah.
It's really sucked because that was today was the entire reason I picked him to move on, because I knew he'd be good, and he was good. And then,
I mean, it's unfortunate, but you kind of gotta push it a little bit when you're trying to win.
Absolutely.
So,
I mean, 100%.
Yeah.
That's the thing about him and Truex are in a really tough spot now, because I don't think anybody really knows what the Toyotas are going to have next week, because only one of them made it past lap 100 last year, and it was Bell.
Oh yeah, that's right. They all blew up.
Yeah, it either blew up or power steering, all of them. So
yeah, I don't feel like that's going to be an issue this year.
No, I'm not saying that's going to be the issue. It's just a matter of they have one car. They have one car to take notes off of, and it's Bell's. So
that was a fast car, though.
It was a really fast car, but it
was. It's also Christopher Bell.
I feel like this may be a hot take. Out of those 6 drivers,
holy shit! Turn on the stove.
Out of those 6 drivers, I feel like the notes from one guy that would translate the least to the other 5 would be Christopher Bell's.
I think Kyle Busch's notes.
Well,
I don't think it matters.
I think Kyle Busch's notes last year at that point in the season said, "Fuck you." So
can confirm. I watched the way he Darth Vader walked his way back to the truck last year.
Well, I mean, here's the thing though. We saw how bad they were in the spring of Martinsville last year, and then they came back to the fall race and were way faster. So
dude, nobody knows this shit. Well,
2 of them were.
No one fucking knows. I mean, hell, take notes from the Bristol Dirt Race. Christian Bell. He's gonna win. That's my pick.
Yeah, let's take notes from the Bristol fucking dirt race.
The 18 went at Martinsville Fall last year. That 18 car went full Chase Briscoe mode and ran dead ass last all day.
That was Kyle Busch fuck it mode. I refuse to believe that.
So was it?
What race?
Was it
Martinsville last year?
Oh, dude, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
Was it Kyle Busch fuck it mode or was it Joe Gibbs fuck you mode?
Probably a bit of both, but definitely the way Kyle was driving the car, he was like, "Let's hang it,
dude.
Loose race car, go."
Dude, every driver has that
race either. So
every driver has that race though. That just one race where they just run dog shit last. Yeah. Like Denny had the when he ran the Leffler car, they ran like 36 the whole day. Junior in the 600 that one
in
year
09, 2009. That was my first race I ever went to, and the only thing I remember from that race, I remember 3 things. Number 1,
God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine.
And they all did, except for Dale Earnhardt Jr., because I remember he ran like 10 seconds off the field, it felt like, to little old me that day. Him and Harvick, who blew a tire on like lap 10.
Yeah, appreciate it, Sam Hornish Jr.
I can always say that the first race I ever went to, David Rudiman won. Not many people can say that.
Everybody whose first race was that race or Chicago.
That's probably not many people.
Probably at least like 5.
Yeah. At least 5. Yes,
dude, I'm fucking on fire.
We'll say at least.
You should put that out.
I am. I'm gonna tweet that. Or, I'm sorry. I'm gonna X that.
No, it's tweet.
It's still tweet.
I refuse to call it anything else.
I think it actually is still tweet, but on the X app, I guess.
Is it X War? That sounds like a porn version of the movie 300.
It all sounds like a porn. Hey, I'm posting on X tonight. Like that sounds like you're about to put up a porn. Like
OnlyFans sounds less like a porn.
It really does.
Oh my gosh.
Chase Elliott was blowing up on X.
Oh god.
Kevin Harvick. Man, they looked like they had something today, and then like the Stewart Haas switched in, and
yeah, that tends to happen.
They're still like in a pretty good spot though. I think
they're +7.
That's pretty good for what they could have done.
Joey really screwed us over by taking 2 tires.
Oh yeah, I was. You know what? He screwed me over too, because if that shit hadn't happened, I'd look like a genius right now.
Why?
Because I had him out in the first round.
Yeah,
and he was going to be going to Bristol like tied with Truex on the cut line.
Truex hasn't finished in the top 5 at Bristol in like 11 years.
Don't care.
I'm just saying. I thought that was a wild stat.
I was in such a great spot, and then he had to pull that shit. So,
wait,
what is he now? What is he now above the cut line?
+12.
Logano?
Yeah,
he's still.
I could see Logano losing 12 points at Bristol.
Yeah,
me too.
I like that the 4 team, they got up there and got some stage points in both stages. That was the one thing I thought was going to be the biggest detriment. I didn't worry about them getting good finishes. I worried about them getting stage points because they haven't. So,
as bad of a spot as they could have been in after the disaster that was their end of Darlington last week, +7 going to Bristol where they were fast last year is a pretty damn good spot.
Yeah.
As bad as it could have been, they could be like -15, 20.
I'm going to play devil's advocate here.
They could be locked in.
They could be advanced.
Well, I said after what had happened.
Well,
I mean, he's right. It's not as bad as it could be, but it's not nearly as good as it could be either.
Exactly. Yeah.
Buddy could be ordering every single scale version finish of a Kevin Harvick race win diecast right now, but instead he's going.
You got to remind the man of that.
Yeah, you're a dick.
It would have not been very good though, because they would have just like dropped out the white and made it like gray.
Hey, fuck you, man. I'll take it.
All right.
I thought you froze there for a minute, Chase. All right.
I was gonna say something. What? Oh yeah. What's with the random Take 5 sponsorship and the red number last week? Where did that
come from? One more of the 4, Take 5.
It's a Mobile One partnership. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, that was just out of left field to me. I don't know.
Hey man, I saw Take 5 on the intro, so I was like, no fucking way. I was like, it's my favorite candy, and I like used my brain for a minute, and I was like, oh, okay. Dude, Sunny Delight.
That car looked good.
That was a good looking car. Way better than that fucking throwback.
Well, what really pains me
ugly.
What really pains me is blue is one of the main colors of
blue.
Sunny D. Blue. And blue is one of the main colors. And when they did the throwback, they made the base color
blue.
They made the base color orange and the accent color green. I'm like, whoa, what the fuck are we doing here? You could have literally made that car blue and orange instead of blue and yellow, and it would have looked pretty much like it was supposed to.
Look, man,
I don't understand.
I don't work here.
I also thought that Darlington race was supposed to be the only time they sponsored him.
No, it was always supposed to be 2.
It was always.
It was 2. Okay, yeah. I guess I'm just dumb then.
Yeah. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott are fighting again.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I don't understand it. Dude. Okay, first of all, Larson helped him on that restart, whatever restart that was.
Yeah.
And then literally Chase goes to pass him and almost runs him in the wall in turn 1. And then, I mean, I don't get this fucking team, bro. Like, there's no one be like what? I don't know, dude.
Yeah, my thing is like, okay, that you made contact on pit road. It was 10 seconds later that Chase sideswiped it, which why would you do that? You're mad that he hit your car, so you're going to go and hit his?
Yeah.
That's stupid.
It's dumb.
And secondly,
if it wasn't the 5 car, I don't think he does that either.
Is there not is the spotter or the crew chief, is somebody not telling him, hey, you were 4 wide, that's why he hit you? No, you're just going to sit there and be like, oh, man, he hit you coming off pit road. I don't know if that's what they said because I haven't heard the audio. Yeah. But I'm assuming they either said nothing at all or instigated it for him to be that mad.
Yeah, you're probably instigated it. They probably...
What pisses me... What? Here's the thing, though. I kind of understand... I understand the initial instinct. He shouldn't have hit him, but I understand the frustration. They might have not been really paying attention. It's the 9 team. They probably weren't paying enough attention. So I kind of understand that. But holy shit, between then and when Chase got out of the car, they couldn't be like, yeah, dude, the 6 like squeezed him up into you.
Yeah.
Did they say something to each other after? Like I said, I didn't watch interviews. What happened after the race?
Chase just went up and talked to Kyle when he was still in the car. And then Kyle basically said when he sees the replay, I think he'll understand, but I don't know if he will.
No.
You're telling me in maybe 15 minutes, they still didn't say anything?
No.
I guess that's why I asked. That's why I asked if anybody heard the audio.
Look at what team it is. It's the 9 team. Like, they've done nothing wrong ever.
You know, I've said it time and time again. The fact that Larson's gone when his contract is up, and I wouldn't be surprised. And I wouldn't be surprised if Chase being at Hendrick and them not getting along anymore has something to do with him being like, all right, I'm just going to go run dirt cars because I have more fun with that.
I don't think that's true at all because, I mean, it doesn't seem to affect Kyle at all. Chase is the only one who's having little brother syndrome.
Well, I feel like eventually it's going to get tired of it. Like,
I mean, I don't know, dude. It's like, it's just.
Why would Kyle care?
Yeah, I mean, it's Chase that's like, he can't
because Kyle hates all media drama.
He just kind of ignores it.
Yeah,
I guess
he just can't handle.
You're probably right.
He can't handle being second, third, or fourth fiddle to Kyle Larson. Chase can.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it boils down to. It's just
been
unnecessary.
Well, I mean, that's been clear since, I mean, literally when Chase ran second to Kyle at the Coca-Cola 600, it was evident at that moment. And it's been that way ever since.
Yeah. No, I mean, and here's the thing, like the California deal, I get it. Don't stop on the racetrack though. That was bullshit. Like don't spin out and stop on the racetrack.
Yeah.
I still think the Watkins Glen deal was Chase being a crybaby because he would have done the same damn thing, and it wasn't that egregious. He still could have won that race if he hadn't thrown a temper tantrum for the next 6 corners and cost himself 5 more spots. So
yeah, that the more and more I look back at that, the more how like less egregious that actually looks. It's just it just like, and the thing was he just acted like when they asked him about it, he acted like he had no clue what they were talking about.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, dude, like we said before, zero accountability with that.
It's also as if he didn't completely send Reddick into turn 6 on the last lap of that same race, like 2 laps later, just because
I'm talking about today.
We're talking about today now.
Oh, yeah. I'm so at the Glen, like he literally just like, he was mad, just sent Reddick and then played.
Well, I mean, this is the way Chase has been anytime he gets in an incident. He's always, except like literally, I can't think of one since like Martinsville 2017 where he actually got out and talked about it. It's always deflect, don't acknowledge it, which I could kind of understand if you didn't act so upset about it all the time. Like if you wasn't so easily rattled, then it wouldn't be that big of a deal.
No, that's not true. Bristol 21. He got out and he talked about it.
Okay.
He said what he had to say at Bristol.
Okay, fair enough.
Either way, it was wrong.
He was dead wrong.
Yeah. But like, yeah, I don't know, man. It's just so apparent, like, especially when it comes to the 5 car. He just can't handle it, bro. Like, he just like, I mean, there's gotta be like, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you at this point.
I think Seth's right. I feel like there's been animosity from him towards Kyle ever since. I mean, he won a championship, and then the very next year, Kyle came in and just completely cleaned house on everybody.
Yeah.
In the same cars. Yeah, and if it wasn't for Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott probably would have won like 10 races in a championship that year because he ran second to Kyle like God knows how many times.
Like half of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Either way, I mean, it's just there's better ways to go about it. I'm sure. Like
I don't get sideswiping somebody coming off pit road after you're mad that you feel like they sideswiped you coming off pit road. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Honest to God, that didn't bother me as bad. Because like I said, in the moment, I get being like, dude, really? You just ran me up? You ran me over on fucking pit lane. Like, I understand like that mindset. And also, I mean, we've seen with the next gen car. I mean, Kyle did that to Denny Hamlin at Pocono. So it's like, I don't know. You got to really hit someone to really damage a next gen car.
Hold on.
What?
I'm listening to Chase's interview.
Oh, I never heard Chase's interview.
Come on, Bob. Ask him about the thing.
Bob gonna dance around it like he always does.
Have a solid day. We were, past Brad for third there, and that's probably where we were going to finish. I'm not sure if we had anything for Denny or Tyler, but I thought we were as close as we've been. So that was nice, and appreciate the effort all week.
And looked like you were having I couldn't tell what you were doing under caution there with Kyle, but what was the message you were trying to send?
Oh, there was no message.
There's no message. You didn't have a problem with it?
No.
Okay.
No, yeah.
All right. But for 4 tires.
What? What? Who is this man?
So there's like, in that situation, you have 2 options, right? You can either be like, yeah, I was trying to send him a message, dude, why'd you run me up on pit road? Or B, yeah, I was trying to send him a message, but I realized now he didn't really have much room. We talked about it, it's whatever. And he just took option C. Like, what are you talking about? That didn't happen.
Yeah,
dude,
I didn't do that.
This is another thing we shit on Chase a lot in this episode, and I don't feel bad about it. But like, Dude, he's a dick to the media too. Anybody else notice that?
It's been talked about to death. Yeah, a lot of people noticed it.
All right, just making sure. I don't know. I don't pay attention to that side of X.
Ultimately, I'm sorry. This still comes down to Eddie and Alan. Like, you really didn't have time to be like, "Hey, dude, the 6 crowded him. That was his fault."
Especially Eddie's calling him off pit road.
Like, yeah, exactly. Like,
did Eddie not say, "Hey, you're about to be 4 here"? Like,
yeah, 6 is coming. 6 is coming. 5's up into you.
Yeah,
you had nowhere to go.
Yeah.
But I'm honest to God, I want to hear it because I don't want to just sit here and just like speculate on what he said. Yeah. But I can almost hear Eddie DeHaan being like, "That son of a bitch just ran into you for no reason." Like, I can pretty much hear it in my head because they say that shit all the time. And then Chase goes, "Did what I think happened really happened, or am I skewed?" And then Alan goes, "Nope, exactly what happened." Because they say the same thing every time. They like, dude, nothing can just be an incident. It's always got to be.
I think, you know what, you say that. I think Martinsville 17 and Bristol 21 were like the exact same lines. That to a T.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
It's been more than that too, but yeah.
Well, Fontana, actually no, Fontana 22, he just
I don't think he asked on that one.
He didn't ask on that one. He just
hold on. There's this picture of I was looking through Twitter for Chase Elliott radio stuff, and it's this picture of him going through 384. It says Aspie.
What?
Because it says Kansas Speedway, and there's no space. So if like you line it up, it says you get the AS in Kansas, and then the SPEE in Speedway, and it says Aspie.
Okay.
All right. Tyler Reddick won the race.
Tyler Reddick won.
Tyler Reddick won the race.
Dude, fuck Tyler Reddick.
They finally finished the race.
Tyler Reddick.
They finally finished off a race. He didn't stop in the middle of the racetrack trying to come to pit road. Or
I wish Daniel Suarez would have fucking cleaned him out like he cleaned out Alex Bowman last week.
Oh, you're still choosing to be wrong about this?
No, that's not what happened.
Okay.
I'm
on the Dale Jr. side of things, where I believe there was fault on both ends. But
I love. Hang on, real quick. I love how the fault on Daniel Suarez is that he didn't just right hook him. I'm like, dude, we would have crucified him if he just right hooked him. What?
I don't know.
I think
there's a difference in turning left to right hook and holding your wheel straight, and the guy drives across your nose.
That's true.
And they got the data now, so they can see. Oh, Bowman turned across his nose.
But also to put it to bed, I mean, Daniel had 2 options: either let him go and live to fight another day, or send him into turn 1. He chose the wrong option.
Here's the thing, also though, and to be fair, it didn't end up on any of the highlight reels, but Bowman also blocked the shit out of him getting into 3. So that was the 3rd block. Like, that's also part of it.
Still, though, figure out a way to send him without wrecking yourself.
I guess, man, but don't run up to the fucking wall after you just fucking raced him down to the fucking bottom.
I mean,
I'll give it 90-10. That's where I'll put it.
Anyway.
So
that
Tyler Reddick actually finished a race off, and the team actually didn't.
I was expecting all 4 lug nuts to be loose on that last stop from the 45.
Oh, dude, you know what though?
There's no way he wasn't speeding. Like
he finally finished a race off, but my God, Denny Hamlin did his best to hand it to him.
Denny Hamlin literally gave the race away because he was upset about the 5 car.
Yeah.
I'm watching it, which at the same time, what was Chase Elliott doing? Chase Elliott was like 2 car lengths off of the 45.
Yeah. No one was doing their job on that restart.
Whole restart was a cluster.
I think what they were trying to do, I think everybody was trying to get a run on everybody, and that really
is what Denny can say he was looking at the 5 laying back. Well, in reality, Denny was laying back too.
Yeah.
And he's never going to say
Denny
was
laying way back.
Denny and Chase were so far back that it almost looked like there was like a 7-car field in the shot, and like there was nobody else there.
It's the Ross Chastain thing where they don't think 5 feet in front of him. Like if you push the guy in front of you, you're gonna have forward momentum either way going into the corner, and you're gonna have a shot at taking him 3 wide. But if you lay back and the guy behind you lays back, all you're gonna do is be blocking. Like
and it doesn't make any sense to me because Denny is a smart race car driver. He should know better than this. Suarez was lined up on the bottom on tires old as dirt. And Reddick was down there with him. Therefore, Denny Hamlin does not matter what's going on behind him. Denny Hamlin is in the best position to win that race.
Reddick had Logano in front of him too.
Yeah. And the only reason Reddick was able to get up and do what he did is because the 5 and the 11 and the 9 were back in BFE. They weren't even there. And because Denny blocked Kyle, Denny blocked Kyle all the way to Nebraska because he was mad that Kyle laid back and he was looking in his mirror and then Kyle tried to pass him.
Let me say this.
By that time, Reddick's gone.
Let me say this, and we need to get Kyle Larson's dicks out of our mouth. Did he, on another restart or when they're battling at some point, didn't he try to put Larson in the wall?
Did you just say that Kyle Larson has 3 dicks?
I did. Yeah, I did.
Get
Kyle Larson's dick out of our mouths. So
okay.
There we go. Sorry. I get excited.
I'm not trying to support Kyle here on any of this. I'm not saying Denny wronged Kyle in any way. He wronged himself because he screwed himself out of a win. He had that in the bag until he went whatever he did there. If he had just restarted like a normal person and like he had all day, he wins that race because Reddick can't get up if he's on his outside.
I don't understand for the life of me why people don't position their car when they're trying to get to the outside of on the corner on the restart. They don't just position their car to the outside instead of waiting for someone else to do that and then blocking and ruining their momentum. Let them have the inside. It's going to be clogged up. Get to the outside. Yeah. You have fresher tires. You're going to go around them. I don't understand why we keep doing this.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a mad scramble at the end, but yeah, I mean, it's either easy to armchair quarterback it and look at it, after the fact. But yeah, I mean, we see the same type of restarts every time, and I don't know.
By the way, shout out Eric Jones. He had a really good day today.
Shout out to fucking Eric Jones, man. They've had a couple good runs in a row. I thought Eric Jones was about to win this race today.
Eric Jones, time and time again, proves how good of a race car driver he is.
Yeah. I mean, there's at one point when Denny and Reddick were battling for the lead before that last run. Eric ran up on the back of him. I was like, Eric Jones is about to pass both of them.
Yeah. I mean, he was running. He was straight up before the Busher caution. He was running 6th, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. End up 3rd. Yeah.
So, I mean, I think when they go to Toyota next year, if Toyota gives them any sort of help, they will.
They'll be great.
They will be way better than they are now. And Eric Jones is a really, really good race car driver, and I think he got a really kind of crappy situation, kind of like Suarez, where they got rushed into a Gibbs Cup car, and then they were given an ultimatum of you better perform by this time or you're out. And it happened, and it probably got to his head. And because
also, I mean, we have all talked about it. There's clearly a 4th car at Gibbs. There's one shoved off in the back corner of the shop, and they don't get the attention. So
yeah,
it's a lot less like that now. But
yeah, I mean, I think that's more to do with the next gen car.
Yeah,
and I would still say the 54 is significantly worse than the other 3 cars.
Yeah, but.
Not significantly, but it's noticeably worse. Put it that way.
Yeah,
that won't last very long.
Yeah, but yeah, Tyler Reddick won. Like we said, surprised he didn't step on his dick, or that team didn't. But he's going to the next round.
Huh? Yeah, loved his post race comment about Newman saying he can't get his hand out the window, so that's why he put his whole body out the window. Dude, There ain't no amount of hand out the window that you could have done to prevent that wreck other than, not doing that.
That is the one thing I'll give Tyler Reddick about last week is at least he didn't put his hand out the window because there was no fucking point of that. At that
Good
point.
Lord.
I mean, yeah, I don't know.
That's some serious. I just ran into you, but I had my turn signal on. So you should have known.
Yeah. Tyler Reddick was damn near past the commitment line on the top lane of the racetrack.
He was halfway to Kansas by the time he decided he wanted to come on the pit road.
Yeah.
But no, I mean,
they talked about that on DBC that whoever Tyler Spotter is, I don't know who Tyler Spotter is. They made the mistake.
Is it not Derek Nealon?
I don't know.
I think it
probably.
Well, either way, the team made the mistake of telling Tyler Reddick, "Come if you can." Like when they saw Harvick coming to pit road, he's halfway past pit road, and they're like, "Oh yeah, pit if you can." Of course, Tyler Reddick's not thinking about the consequences of what happens if I slam on the brakes in the middle of the racetrack. Tyler Reddick wants to win a race, so all he's thinking is, "Shoot, I got a pit right now, and let me just stop in the middle of 3 and 4 on the high side and just brake check everybody."
We were there. We saw it.
Do we got all our Darlington out? Because we did this last week.
I didn't do this last week.
He did. Yeah, to be fair, he did.
I didn't get to do this last week.
I know.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'll give it to the 45 team because they were largely kind of out to lunch, like just kind of all over the place throughout the entire regular season after they won COTA. And now we get to the playoffs, and I picked them to go to the round of 8, and they're making me look like a genius while I'm pissed off at them. So,
yeah, I mean
that car looks really nice too. I'm glad he won in that one. I care about paint schemes a little bit.
As the proud owner of 735 HendrickCars.com cars, I don't care anymore.
Sure. Was Kansas a good race, Seth?
Yeah. It's what it is at this point.
Yeah.
Like I got that's all I have to say about it.
Well, I mean, was it you've been critical of Kansas in the past, like you thought it's been overhyped with the next gen car.
I think it's still
any different? Was this any different, you think, or do you think it?
I think it was a little cleaner, so that helped me kind of feel better about it. But I mean, it's still a largely aero wash kind of track. Like you can really position your car. There's still too much on throttle time, which I get. I get why it is right now, but it's still pretty good. Like it's definitely one of the better tracks we have.
Nice.
Good race. I mean, the only thing is you get 20 laps into a run and it's really, really, really hard to pass still. But it's better than a lot of places. So I think it's a good race. And I just wonder how long, because that surface they paved it in 2012. So it's 11 years old. I just wonder how long.
Good math.
Yeah. You made me double. I just wonder how long it stays good before it becomes just old and terrible. To not actually old and terrible, because I think old racetracks put on great racing, but to what NASCAR wants it to be, old and terrible, and
I think we're
wears tires. So I hope so. I think it's got another at least 10 years before we start thinking about that. But
yeah, it's just gonna be great in 10 years.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's I put out a TikTok. Follow me on TikTok, by the way, guys. I need help. But
I do, unfortunately.
Yeah. I called it the Darlington of the cornfields.
You did call it the Darlington of the cornfields.
And I said that, and then I had a race where I wasn't too enthused about. Like, I thought it was an okay race. I enjoyed the fact that it wasn't just fucking waiting for a guy to blow a tire.
Yeah.
Which ultimately that ended up being what it was. But yeah, I mean, it definitely the hype wore off for me just because, I mean, yeah, it's aero wash, and once you get 20 laps in a run, everybody's status quo. I mean, I will say Kansas and Charlotte, obviously, two tracks where if you have a fast enough car, you can move through the field pretty easily. And I did like the fact that Harvick and other guys could make the bottom work. They could really wrap the white line and make time.
Yeah.
But I mean, to win the race, you had to be up against the fence. And it doesn't seem like with this car, you find that extra tenth of a second right against the fence like you used to. Like, it seems like you could be kind of off the wall a little bit, and it doesn't really make a fuck.
It's more about finding that little bit of clean air on your nose than it is about ripping the wall.
Yeah. On throttle time's way too much, but I think that gets better as the track ages. So hopefully it keeps doing that, and I think we'll have a really good track. I mean, we already do, but yeah.
I still think that Charlotte is way better.
Yeah, I think Charlotte's better.
Yeah. Which I think just the way Charlotte's designed helps because it's just so tight in the corners.
Yeah.
But the only thing about Charlotte is once the sun sets, it's like
it's little
significantly harder to pass.
Yeah. But I mean, also here's the thing too, and you can do anything you want. You can add horsepower to these cars. They
won't.
But you can add horsepower. You could take tire wear away. Ultimately, there's some minor details that are different, but ultimately it's still the same cars with pretty equal drivers, and it's going to just be hard to pass after 20 laps.
Yeah.
You get in a rhythm. As long as your car is performing well, you're probably like you could mess it up, obviously. But
this is racing, not passing.
Yeah,
this is true.
There's a difference.
I think. Never mind.
Yeah, I mean, I think. Shit, where was I going with this? Yeah, I forgot.
Fantastic.
I remember. I did like the tire wear here. I think the tire wear here is it's right. It's in a good spot because it's not the Darlington where you're dead in the water if you have any laps on your tires.
But Darlington is a disease.
Huh?
The Darlington is a disease.
Yeah, that's an STD. But it's not. What I'm saying is, it's not like Darlington where if you have any laps on your tires, you're dead in the water. Whereas Kansas, it's a good balance of if you do have 20 laps on tires, you can hold on for a little bit. But if you do have good tires and your car's working well, you're going at the front.
I mean, we saw Chase Elliott hold on a lot longer than I actually thought he would.
I was shocked at how good that they held on there.
Yeah. Of course, clean air had a lot to do with it, but
clean air had a lot to do with it, and then the Chevys were significantly better than the Fords. Like I mean, like I said, Kevin's driving a 25th place car trying to win the stage with it, so
it wasn't that bad today. I hate to break it to you.
I mean,
well, the other three cars were.
Childers made it better, but
so then it wasn't a 25th place car.
I mean, bare bones, yeah, it was a 25th place car.
They're all the same bare bones.
Nah.
Okay.
Anyway, so yeah, that's Kansas. That was a long way around the yellow brick road, but that's Kansas. On to Bristol. We're all going.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck yeah. Can't wait.
Favorite race of the year. Favorite race of the year.
We're going to see a great race. Aero's not going to be a problem at all. Like, I mean, it's going to be great.
I'm almost worried that Bristol's going to be even worse this year.
Really?
Yeah, because
because they figured the tire stuff out, so there's not going to be anything to add stupid drama to it.
Yeah, partly. And not that I think that made it better. That made it fucking insufferable to an extent. But it won't be like for the casual, it won't be as interesting as it was last year. We're just going to get the wound up fucking shittiness of it. And I don't know. I mean, if they actually, I don't know if they brought like a softer tire, maybe, but
I don't think so because tire has really never mattered at Bristol, not for a long time.
Yeah.
I
mean, when they added stages for Bristol, the guys always played the tire game to not have fresh tires, but just for track position. Like, it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters at Bristol now is aero, and it shouldn't. And I remember last year, Bristol is my favorite race of the year. The night race is, and Bristol is my favorite track ever, and it always will be. And I sat there last year, and I remember halfway through that race, I was so mad at what I was watching because I know I've probably said this to you guys before. I remember sitting there watching Bell and Larson race for the lead, and the damn Rick Ware cars were in front of them. And one specifically, I think it was JJ Yaley. I think Kyle was running the top and Bell was running the bottom. And whoever wasn't behind Yaley would get the lead. And then Yaley would move up, and then the other one would get the lead. And then Yaley would move back down. And they literally ran behind the Rick Ware car and traded the lead back and forth for 20 laps and couldn't pass him. And it was all aero.
Yeah. Well, especially at that point, because, I mean, you talk about clean air. There's no clean air at all. So it's literally whoever doesn't have someone immediately in front of them is going to be the car.
Well, it's aero, but it's also just the fact that for a track like Bristol, we do not have enough horsepower. So, I mean, they're getting in the corner later than ever. They're getting back in the throttle earlier than ever. And that just creates this. And I mean, we've seen this at Martinsville. Martinsville, there's a few other issues with Martinsville, but it really shows up here at Bristol.
Too much on throttle time. Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing with Darlington. I mean, just really all tracks. It's like if we could get either more horsepower or just get less on throttle time.
I think groove tires would have an immediate impact here. If we cannot do horsepower, I think that would make a big difference at Bristol.
Yeah. Because I think you'd be buzzing them off the corner.
Yeah.
And
that's part of what we're missing too. We're not buzzing the tires at all.
I mean, it is you put the throttle down and you got all the tire in the world and you're going.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty much impossible to pass like that. And that's just how it is. I don't know.
I don't really know what to expect. I hope it's magically better.
I expect to drink a lot of beer.
I expect to watch you.
Yeah, I'll drink them for you. How about that?
Yeah.
No,
it'll be fun. We're still trying to talk Seth into actually coming and hanging out with us on Saturday rather than just showing up for a race and going home like a loser.
Dweeb. Yeah. Nah, Chase and I we're camping all weekend. I'm gonna try to remember to put together some sort of content for, I guess, probably TikTok. But no, we're going to the Xfinity race. Dale Jr.'s racing, man.
Holy, when's the last time anybody saw Dale Jr. and Trevor Bayne in a race together? What, 2017?
I would imagine.
Oh, I don't know.
That's the
last time anybody cared about Dale Jr.
Both ran full time. Yes.
When's the last time anybody cared about Dale Jr. and Trevor Bayne being in a race together?
It's been a long time. Been a long damn time. I'm not sure I care about it right now.
2011 Daytona 500, maybe.
Probably, yeah.
It's like, oh man, Trevor Bayne's racing this week. They should give him an Xfinity ride next year, full time.
I think they're trying. I don't know that they should. He's done good, but he hadn't lit the world on fire. I think they should give that 19 car to Joe Graf Jr.
No,
I think that's
not.
The worst idea I've ever heard.
Bitch ran like 11th in the 19 car.
He's the only person I've ever seen that couldn't qualify in an RCR Xfinity car. He literally DNQ'd out of a race like 2 years ago.
No, it was 2.
You know who's DNQ'd more though?
Who?
Jeffrey Earnhardt.
Oh my God.
Well,
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying, Joe Graff Jr., my God, I don't know who gives him his money, but if they weren't giving it to him, that man wouldn't have a job.
My guess would be Joe Graff Sr.
Yeah.
Probably.
I'm going to put a lot of money on that.
Let's look up right now. What does Joe Graff Sr. own?
Do we care?
Anyway, Bristol. It'll be, either way, it's the Bristol night race. We were talking about this before. We don't know what to expect on who's going to be good there. Was that on the show, or is that before we got on the show?
Joe Graff Sr. is a managing member of FGR Excel, whatever that is. He's a manager there, and he, I guess, has a lot of money from doing that. Okay. So
that adds
interesting.
Up.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is the actual Joe Graff Jr.'s dad, but that's what he does, apparently. So,
all right. Well, I can't remember if we talked about this on the show or not, but you guys seem to think that the jury is totally out on the Toyotas, and I think that's a little goofy.
Hold on. I didn't say the jury was totally out on the Toyotas.
Okay,
but
Chuck,
I think there's a significant unknown. I think the 4 is going to be good. I think probably the 45 is going to be good. I think the 5 is going to obviously be fast. I think really the same cast of characters that have been running up that front. Yeah, the 11, the 19.
Yeah,
I don't think the 19 will be good.
Yeah, that's one I'm kind of up. I think the 20 is going to be great.
The 20 will be. If I had to pick 2 Toyotas that are actually going to be good, I take the 20 and the 45.
I think Bell's going to win the pole again.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Maybe the 11. I don't think they're going to win the race, but I think they're going to win the pole again.
I don't either. Yeah. I think the best Toyota will be the 20. I think the best Ford will be the 17.
The fuck you mean?
They led half of the race last year.
Who the fuck is you?
No, the 6 led half the race.
Who the fuck is you?
They led half of the race.
Okay. So why are we forgetting about Brad Keselowski?
Because I don't know. I think Buescher's just going to be better. It's my prediction, Seth. In all seriousness, though, they both led. Combined, they led 250 and some change.
Yeah,
they can.
And they both led over 100.
Get the fuck out of Kevin Harvick's way.
Well, if NASCAR
you know what? If they hadn't led half the race last year, I'd say the 4. I think the 4. I think the only 3 Fords that
I think the 5 and the 4 had the best cars last year,
and the 20.
Yeah.
Well,
the 5, the 4, and the 20.
The 20 kept getting track position though. I think that was a big part of what they did.
I don't know. I think put it this way. I think the RFK cars.
They'll be great. They'll be
great. I actually, I changed my mind. I actually do think the 4 will be the best Ford next week.
I've convinced them.
No, I was about to say the 4, and then I remembered that RFK led half the race last year, and that swayed me. But
I think it's going to be
Kevin
the 6.
was really good last year. Kevin was really good there last year, and he needs to be really good on Saturday, or they're not making the next round.
I think it's going to to be the 6 because if NASCAR, hang on. Y'all keep talking about Kevin Harvick. If NASCAR calls cautions consistently last year, then when Brad blows the tire, he gets to come down pit lane and change it while he's still on the lead lap. He probably could get back and win that race.
Well, he couldn't get back and win that race because you couldn't pass anybody.
Well, there was still 120 to go when that happened, was there not?
Well, and then they had he wouldn't get busted by a commitment code violation.
Okay.
They had 2 passes from that point on. There was 2 passes inside the top 5, and I'm pretty sure both of them were because Larson stepped on his dick.
Yeah,
probably.
So looking at the cutoff, I think we talked about this earlier, but let's revisit it. We've gone through a hell of a journey since then. We got damn. Oh shit, it's closer than I thought. All right, so Larson and Reddick, they've won. Hamlin's up 49, Byron's up 41. Then Brad's up 33, Blaney up 25, Busch up 24. And then we got Ross Chastain plus 18, Busher plus 13, Bell plus 13, Logano plus 12, Harvick plus 7, and then Truex minus 7. Bubba, I think Bubba's going to probably – no, I'm not going to say that. I think Bubba's minus 19, Stenhouse is minus 22. Michael McDowell has missed the round of 12. Let's just make that clear.
Congratulations to Michael McDowell on winning the Bristol night race.
He's not terrible there. He's really not terrible there.
Yeah, but he's not better than the other 15 playoff guys.
So what I would have said
he's gonna have to win.
I would have said that about the Indy Road Course too, and then he went out and absolutely
no, hold on. No,
Very
is
different.
Michael McDowell, let's be real, is Michael McDowell going to win the Bristol night race?
Hell no.
No, he's not going to fucking win, so he's not going to make it. He's 40 fucking points back.
Okay, so can you read that? So Denny's plus 49.
Yes.
He's in.
Yes.
Byron's plus
We
what?
just went over this.
I'm telling you who I feel good about and who I don't.
Just say who you think is going to be out.
Denny, Byron, and who's right behind Byron? Is it Brad?
Brad, yeah.
I'd just go ahead and
Here, Kyle Busch is 24 points above the cut line. Let's be real. All right. Ross Chastain is 8 plus 18. I think anybody down to 15, down to Stenhouse, it could swing.
I don't feel good about Ross being plus 18.
There's a whole lot of stupid shit that happens at Bristol.
Yeah.
And I think Ross, I don't think that team has a good setup at Bristol.
And I'm not just saying that because I had him out in the first round. I'm saying because of his track record at Bristol, I don't feel good about him being plus 18.
He has the track record at Bristol?
No, he has a track record at Martinsville.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, he does.
All right. Since you guys didn't prepare, apparently, I got my 4 out.
I did prepare.
I know. I'm fucking with you. Chuck here didn't, clearly. But
Chuck was eating a pizza quesadilla when this thing started. All right.
Fair.
God, that sounds so good.
It does sound good.
I
got my 4 out as Logano, Wallace, Stenhouse, McDowell. That's my 4.
And he called me a madman.
I think the 4 that are out right now are going to be the 4 that are out at the end of the night.
So you're calling Truex out?
I
think okay, hold on. Well,
I think Logano can do something stupid enough or just run terribly enough to miss.
Well, I also think Joe Logano can equally, dude. Because all they're going to have to do is do what they did today. Again, there's going to be a handful of guys dumb enough to take 4 tires with 15 to go. Joey's going to take 2. He's going to get out like 3rd, and he's going to finish 5th.
This isn't Kansas, though. We saw what happened last year, especially for running the same tires. Like, they last fucking forever at Bristol.
That's what I'm saying.
No one's going to go and do 4 tires again at the end of the race. There's no way.
That's what I'm saying. Someone's going to be dumb enough to do it.
Someone, not the whole field.
I think a handful of guys are going to be dumb enough to go do it. A handful of guys that he needs to beat. And I think I think they're going to pitch strategy their way into the next round. I think the 4 cars going to run top 3. And I don't think Martin Truex is going to do that.
I don't think one of them, I'll say it like this. One of them's going to suck, either the 22 or the 19. I don't know which one. I just got a hunch one of them's going to suck. And I got a feeling it's going to be the 22. I don't think the 19 will be good, but I think he'll be better than the 22. I kind of feel like, I'm going to be honest, if we're like going to count, let's just separate Harvick Haas from Stuart Haas here. If we're going to count Harvick Haas as its own team, just for the sake of the argument, Penske has been like the 3rd best Ford team over the past month.
Just the past month?
The whole year, maybe?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, really.
Well, to be fair, they did lead the points at one point. So
RFK got hot over the summer. They found something over the summer.
Joey Logano is like a discount version of Kevin Harvick in a sense, because those Penske cars aren't fantastic right now. They're light years better than the other Stuart Haas cars, but Joey is kind of does that Kevin Harvick thing where he's going to take a 11th place car and finish 5th with it. He did it today.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, but here's the thing. It's hard to pick who's going to go in, who's going to go out, because you never know, dude. Like Kyle Busch could just crash. Like,
Ricky Stenhouse can win Bristol.
He's not. Like he can, but he's not.
I'm telling you right now, he can. He's good there.
I mean, fuck, Michael McDowell can win Bristol. He's just
for
not.
Ricky Stenhouse standards. Okay, Ricky Stenhouse is good at Bristol.
I will say they have been significantly better this year. So
he's been significantly better this year, and that's one of his, if not his best racetrack. That's not a super speedway. I'm just saying, don't be shocked if the 47 is actually fast and actually has a shot to win. If they
that's the thing. He's gonna have to win, and I just don't think he's gonna.
Yeah, I don't think he will either. I'm just saying I'm not gonna write it off. If he goes out there and wins or has a shot to win, I'm not gonna be like, oh my gosh, where's Ricky Stenhouse coming from? Because he's always been fast there.
I just don't think anyone outside of, I guess we'll call him the big five, is really going to have a serious shot at winning this race.
Yeah.
It's just going to come down to if and where the cautions fall and who plays the strategies. Bristol, it's going to be a strategy game. It's going to be a strategy game because it's hard to pass, and the tires might as well be bricks. So
we already know what the strategy is, though. Don't pit. Like, we know that now.
Dear God,
or when you do pit, take 2 tires. Like
if they didn't have to put fuel in them things, they might not have to pit at all.
Take 4 tires.
Seth, my boy.
Yes.
2019 Phoenix fall race. And that's going to be my only rebuttal to your you don't have to pit.
All right,
Ryan Blaney and Kyle Larson had a prime opportunity to make the Final Four, and they pitted for no good fucking reason.
My rebuttal is Chad Johnston and Jeremy Bullins.
Probably.
Yeah. I don't think I have to say anything else.
I guess. I don't know, dude. Like, there's too many times where it's like it's a layup call and just they do the wrong thing.
I mean, yeah, I know. I'm just saying. I'm putting it out there for all if any NASCAR team wants to listen. You take 4 tires at the end of stage 1. You take 4 tires at the end of stage 2. Any other time, you either stay out or you take 2 tires. That's the call. Yeah. Unless people start blowing left rears, which is
if Harvick had just taken 2 at the end of the race last year, they wouldn't have forgot how to put the left rear on.
That's what I'm fucking saying. I was screaming. I was sitting I was sitting under the big screen screaming. I'm like, take 2, damn it, take 2. And they didn't. So
could have taken 5.
They about did.
Should have taken the 5 out.
No.
I think they about did take 5. Well, they put that 1 on twice, so they might as well.
They did take 5. That's where they got the sponsorship from.
Actually,
some dude at Take 5 was sitting on the couch watching that race, and he did the Leonardo DiCaprio. Take 5.
Damn. All right.
Okay, Bristol. Okay. Who's our sundress and dumbass from Kansas? I forgot Kansas. Oh shit.
All right. My sundress is Eric Jones. And my dumbass is the 19.
Okay. My sundress is gonna be we're gonna go with Riley Herbst. He missed the playoffs, but I think Riley Herbst has stepped up at least 5 to 8 positions in the past 2 months. And Stewart-Haas Racing has done everything in their power to make him miss the playoffs. So I'm going to give a shout out to Riley Herbst and give him my sundress award. My dumbass award is, Chase Elliott.
My sundress, not directly Kansas related, but shout out to Carson Kvapil for getting to make his first truck start next week at Bristol.
Facts.
I did call that, by the way. I'm pretty sure it's in the Daytona episode where I said Kvapil to the Spire truck, and
I was there.
He's a good kid. He's a talented race car driver. He went and finished second.
You don't get to call him a kid. You're the same age as him.
Yeah, I do, because I'm a kid. He went and finished second in his first ARCA start at Kansas.
You have a 1970s style mustache, my guy.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Fair enough. But he went
and a
he went,
mullet.
I didn't ask for the mullet, but but seriously, good for Carson. And Hendrick Cars is sponsoring that truck. So obviously some people want to see him run good. And then my dumbass of the week, Denny Hamlin. How are you going to blame the guy?
On board, but
how are you going to blame the guy behind you for you not restarting good enough because you were looking at your rearview camera instead of, looking out your windshield on the last restart of the race? So, yeah, what an idiot.
He was distracting me. Yeah, no, that's fair.
Apparently, Kyle Larson gets in people's heads pretty easily.
Dude, yeah. For a guy that's so unassuming, like Kyle's just out here just beat bopping around doing Kyle Larson things.
I think that's the problem people have is Kyle something will happen and Kyle's just like, it's okay. And they're just like, what the fuck is wrong with that guy?
Yeah. Yeah. Did I say my son dressing dumbass? Yeah, I did.
Yeah, yes.
All right, who we picking? Xfinity and Cup, Bristol. Who you got, Seth?
All right, I'm going out on a limb and gonna pick Parker Kligerman for the Xfinity race.
Oh, good pick. Good pick.
Yep. And then for the Cup race, I'm picking Kyle Larson.
Chase.
Oh, Xfinity, I'll take Allgaier. He has almost won at Bristol way too many times.
A lot.
I don't know what. I think at this point,
he has won at Bristol.
I'm talking like recently. God himself would have to strike that car with lightning for anything else to go wrong for that team while leading at Bristol. So I'll take Allgaier.
I mean, it is Bristol. It'll be a lot of white lightning running around there.
Okay, Cup race.
Moonshine, you fucking idiots.
Yeah, I know that.
There's a whole Sugarland Shine Moonshine shack in the fucking suites.
Cup race. Sorry, buddy, I'm taking the 4.
Fucking have them.
I'll take
Who did I pick for Kansas?
Kyle Larson.
Did I pick Larson or Hamlin?
You picked Larson. I picked Hamlin. I checked it during the race.
Are you fucking serious? Wait, so who won?
Me. Hamlin got second. Kyle got fourth.
Oh, fucking hell.
Wait,
I thought Hamlin. I picked Hamlin for this. Yeah, you picked Truex.
I picked Truex. Oh, yeah. Man, that went well. You should be scared then, buddy, because I picked the 4.
Oh, well.
It's a 4 team. They'll find a way.
I don't give a shit. Fuck. Who am I picking for Bristol? Xfinity race.
Do it.
Riley Herbst.
Oh, God.
Riley Herbst. Gonna shock the damn world. If he wins that Bristol, I will shotgun a Beast Unleashed.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
It's fucking horrible idea. So that's why I picked Riley Herbst. Cup race. Fuck. I don't know. God, who'd you pick, Seth?
Kyle Larson.
God damn it.
You already picked Kyle in this round, so you couldn't use him anyway.
I know. Shit. Who's gonna
I could have told you Kyle wasn't gonna win this week. I wasn't there.
Who the hell?
Yeah, that's true.
Who am I gonna pick at damn? I mean, it don't make a fuck. Larson is gonna win. I'll go with Brad Keselowski.
Okay.
That's a good pick.
That is a good pick.
Yeah.
And I would have done that if Kyle's track record at races I've been at this year wasn't so, really good.
I really wanted to pick the 4 car, but
I will say I wanted to pick the 5 because the whole Valvoline thing, but I've never not every time I've been to a race that Kyle Larson drove the Valvoline car, he wins. So
can he go 3 for 3?
So basically we're all actually saying Kyle Larson, but for the sake of the game,
yes.
Yeah.
I think if Kyle Larson wins, it's going to be because something happens to the 4 car that is just absolutely heartbreaking, because that's just how it goes.
That is just kind of how it goes these days.
Yeah. Yep.
That's
Dale
actually
Jr.
how our friendship began. So
that is. Yeah. Chase sat next to us at the Bristol night race, and I tried to fight Seth's brother.
Yeah.
Because he had a fucking horrible take. And I was fucking
He had the
mad.
correct take. You agreed with it like an hour later.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking it's somebody else. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yep, Bristol. It's gonna be, if you see us at Bristol,
Don't say hi.
Like don't. There's a high possibility we'll be 3 sheets to the wind fucked up. Like,
they
or at least I will.
Yeah,
I
we
guess
will.
Chase won't, but
I won't.
yeah.
I'll just.
You gotta chaperone me.
If you see me, come say hey.
Yeah.
If you care, or
I'm
don't.
trying to be a good
care.
race fan and bring a new fan to the track. My buddy Logan, trying to bring him. He watched the Southern 500, and well, actually, he's been to a race before, but first race in a long time. He watched the Southern 500, and he's like, I was trying to pick a guy out I like. Dude, blindly has no clue anything about what anybody's done ever, right? And he goes, I like this guy. He drives a Ford. I think the 17 car. I said Chris Buescher. He goes, yeah. I go, yeah, he's won 3 out of the last 6 races. Good pick.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's got to ride with me and Buddy to Bristol. So by the time he hears us finish complaining about how bad the race is going to be the whole way there, he might question why he's even there.
Yeah, no, I've intentionally been like, yeah, like I've intentionally not said how terrible this race is probably. I mean, that's the thing about the Bristol night race, is whether it's a good race or not. Actually, I think anybody who goes for the first time, yeah, it's a spectacle. Like, I mean,
there's nothing like it.
Wasn't it Colin his wife's first race? Bristol?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah. And what you think?
I think, I don't remember.
Oh yeah, we didn't
get to talk to her that night.
Yeah, dude, we had to drive halfway around the state of Tennessee to get to our fucking campsite.
I remember that race that I met you guys in 21. My dad
that race.
My dad had been with me to Charlotte. He's been to a lot of places, and he'd never been to Bristol. He always wanted to go since he was a kid. And when he was a kid, it was selling out 3 years in advance. And he finally got to go. That was his first time at Bristol. And when we walked in, he was like, holy shit. Like, it's cool. You walk in and it's all beneath you. There is truly nothing like it.
Mine was a little bit, my first impression of Bristol was a little bit stunted because it was the COVID all-star race.
It's still like, either way, it's still something to just walk into.
Yeah, but that race fucking sucked.
It definitely did.
I've been to 3 pavement races at Bristol and 3 dirt races. I've seen 1 good pavement race at Bristol.
You know what's funny is because the COVID spring Bristol race that was like a month before that or whatever was actually really good. And there was nobody there to see it.
Yeah. Well, because Bristol, you need lap traffic.
Yeah.
And, tires.
Talk about your first time at Bristol, Seth.
My first time. Okay. So my first time at Bristol was the 2012 night race. And that was going into it, the one where they had ground the top down. And
dude, that's a banger. That's a banger of a race.
Yeah, so they grind the top down, and we're sitting there thinking, all right, it'll tighten it up a little bit in the bottom. No, 150 laps of the race. It looks like fucking Darlington out there. They're just all ripping the wall.
It is, yeah. That was a great race. Dude, I'll tell you what, if you're a fan and you like, NASCAR put out that NASCAR Classics website, go watch some of the old Bristol night races, like the ones from like early 2000s, or even like, that one from 2012 is notoriously great. Like, dude, I mean, the Bristol night race is something else. And, you got to fill your head with some good Bristol racing to really get your your mindset right, so you realize how terrible this one's going to be.
Yeah, I was about to say, this is not the weekend. This is not the week where I'm going to be brushing up my old Bristol, because it's just going to piss me off even more on Saturday.
Yeah. My first Bristol was actually 2018 night race. And I had tickets for since Christmas the year prior, and I'd always wanted to go. Well, I broke the race that year was, I will never forget it. It was, I believe, August 18th. And I broke my collarbone at football practice on August 7th. And they told me I had to have surgery on August 17th. And I told my grandparents, we're still going. So I had surgery at
right there.
I had surgery at 6 a.m. My buddies from the beach, they helped me get in the car with my grandparents basically an hour after I got out of the hospital. We drove from the beach, Oak Island, where I lived at the time, and over to the Charlotte area where my grandparents lived. We got in the truck the next day, went to Bristol. I'm walking around on hardcore painkillers in a sling.
Yeah.
And I have this cover on my scar from the incision that it's not allowed to get wet at all. Yeah. It cannot get wet. Well, Bristol, August, it's going to rain.
Yeah.
We walk in.
And it's hot as balls. You're going to sweat.
And of course, we parked up on the freeway. So we walked way down the hill, and I could barely even balance. Thank God they found a golf cart to drive us to our seats, because we walked in on the turn 4 side. We're sitting on the turn 2 side. And they drove us around. Sorry, phone call. Drove us around. We walk in, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this place is cool. And 30 seconds later, I'm looking up on Colossus, the big screen, and they're doing driver intro stuff in turn 4, and it is pouring in turn 4. And I was like, is that coming this way? And as I say, is that coming this way, it starts pouring on us. Oh. And then I start freaking out because I can't get my shoulder wet. So then from that point on, I remember 3 things from that race, because I had to take my pain medicine again. I remember Kyle Busch wrecking on lap 2. And I have a video of me screaming about it. And then I remember Kyle Busch wrecking Martin Truex Jr.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah.
And then I remember Kyle Busch wrecking again when he cut his tire. That's it. That's all I remember.
All right.
My first night race was obviously 21, and it was an awesome race up until 4 to go, and then I don't really remember what happened, but part of me still lives in turn 4 in the turn 4 grandstands at that night.
I got a great video of that.
Yeah. Fuck that race. I think we've had enough. Shut the fuck up. I think we've had enough of this podcast for this week. I'm Buddy Pulley. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok at the Buddy Pulley. Seth.
I'm Seth. You can follow me at Dolbowski basically everywhere.
Everywhere.
If you want.
Everywhere there's internet.
Yep. Yeah. I am Chase. Twitter is Folsom_Chase. The Instagram, let's see what that one even is. Hold on, I got
you gotta get this shit under control, man. We're real stupid around here, so you gotta clean. You gotta put them all the same, Mr. Professional Media Person.
See, I would if I could have that username. It's cfolsom_racing on Instagram.
Cool. Yep, that's been the show. Go fuck yourselves.
Or don't. Free country.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that, but I wouldn't listen to Buddy, but I usually don't. So.
All right.